Howdy, and welcome to the veritable edge of Western civilization yet again. Venice Beach, California. I am your host, David Alexander English, coming to you still alive and well and living on planet Earth. How about that? Today is the 29th of January 2020, and let's see where we are. Let's finish Lifeguard Tower. There's the Venice Pier behind me, and I've got some news. Some news you can use. I just came from an appointment with the oncologist today that I set up yesterday because things have taken a turn, as they say. So all the stuff I've been doing for the past 4 months has resulted in me being very, very healthy. Except for the fact I'm as fit as I've ever been. I'm as healthy as I've ever been. I weigh 177 pounds. I even got my six-pack is visible these days. And yet, there was an acceleration in growth of the tumor in the back of my mouth over the past 3 weeks or so. And even this egg thing, I think, is bigger too. And I don't know why, but the calculus is really simple. There wasn't a lot of wiggle room before, and now there's none. And I made a deal with the oncologist, Dr. Hill, that at UCLA Harbor Medical Center down in Torrance, that if things started to turn, then I'd let her know, and we'd have to, do our plan B, which was radiation and chemo. And it's gotten pretty serious, and I've been bleeding more often. Trying to sleep at night is very much of a challenge because I can, the only way I can sleep with my mouth closed is if I'm on my side, but most I'll wake up at night and I'm like breathing out of my mouth's all dry, or throat hurts, and it's been a lot more pain and a lot more of me going, what the fuck is happening? Because I'm doing all this stuff that's supposed to, be helping with the cancer, and it's not doing it. It hasn't been doing anything to the cancer. It's done everything to my body. I feel great, but because there's not a lot of wiggle room in terms of these tumors being able to grow. If they were like normal squamous cell is like a skin cancer, right? Although I have a friend I was in contact with recently. She had it in her anus, and she did the chemo and radiation, and she's fine. They wanted to cut it out, but she ended up doing the chemo and radiation, and she's fine now. And that was 2012 when that happened. So anyway, if this was normal skin cancer, there'd be plenty of room for it to grow, but it became very obvious to me that if I just kept doing what I was doing and not doing anything more, that I would probably be dead in a couple of months, because no matter what I'm doing, it's not enough to. It hasn't done anything to um, either stop the growth of the cancer or even shrink it back. Nothing like that's happened. I haven't found anything like it's consistently give my full attention to that would do that. So here we are, and I'm going to be starting. I've got a PET scan scheduled for a week from this Friday, and then on the 13th we start the first chemo treatment. There'll be 3 of them spread over the 10 weeks of the radiation, and the radiation will take place for about 15 minutes a day for 5 days a week for 10 weeks. Haven't yet nailed down the. Still have to have an appointment with the radiation people sometime in the next week or so. So the radiation will either start the 12th or it'll start the 17th. I'm guessing. We're hoping. I'd just like to start. Would have liked to start today. It's like that. It's to that point. Because there's not a lot of room for this to grow. There's not before it starts, seriously impacting my quality of life. And like right now, I don't know if I sound weird to you, but I probably don't sound as weird as I would have yesterday or this morning. That's because I've been doing a lot of talking today. But it really, when I haven't talked that much, it sounds like I've got a giant egg in the back of my mouth that I'm trying to talk around. And it started to spread to my tongue. And the place where it started to spread to the tongue is really, it's connected into all these nerves that go up into the ear and the side of my head. And it's very painful, I gotta tell you. So it's not hurting right now, thank you. Maybe because it knows what's coming. We're gonna kick some cancer butt. So I'm saying all this in part as a part of my record keeping. I've been keeping a video record since the diagnosis of my journey here, and I knew a week ago that I was going to make this decision, but before I did, I went out to Point Doom and I did some mushrooms, and I sat up there on the point and I had an amazing, incredible experience all afternoon. This hawk came up, floated up like almost right next to me, and then floated away, and then this whale, I was in my meditation staring out at the ocean, and in the reflection of the sunlight on the water, like we have here. Let's see, like we have right there, right there. This whale came up and breached and, did the whole thing that they do with the insurance company thing, right? And it was so affirming, I got to tell you, because I was thinking about what I had to do next, For whatever reason, the donations to the GoFundMe page haven't, just dried up completely. and I guess we reached about $5,800. With that $5,800, I was able to buy a used computer to finish the book, but mainly the book that I've been working on for 10 years. That's about the archaeological sites I discovered in Big Sur, and I've been in contact with Rory McQuestion and getting all the details about the information about the Earth's subtle energy system and the ley lines and the emperor dragons and all this sort of stuff. And so I'm hoping to have that completed before I begin treatment in 2 weeks. I'm about halfway through the latest edit, and it's coming along really well. The name of this book is The Natural History of Life and Death. And there's, as usual, there's about 6 other subtitles to it that I'll leave as a surprise. But one of them is WTF is really going on here. And it's been really wonderful, and it feels really good to be finally getting all of this information out. And some of this information has never been published before. So it's a combination of, it's kind of like a magnum opus for a lot of the work in natural history that I've done over the past 25 to 30 years. And the hidden mystery. So another one of the subtitles is the apocalypse, or apocalypse, which means the revealing of knowledge, or those things hidden, and revelation. And so that's exactly what it is. And it's the classic sense of apocalypse. It's not about it's the end of the world. Although we talk about the end of the world too. Worlds, because the world's ended several times. So it feels really good to be reaching completion with that at this time. And so apt that here I am, facing death and having made a decision not to die anytime soon. Because, I know that if I didn't make the choice that I've just made, I would be dead in a couple of months, without question, is the way that this has been going. But that's an alternative history that will not have a chance to happen, because this is the way we're going. This is what's up. And when I was on the mushroom trip and I was walking back, I was coming down and everything, I had a wonderful time out there. One of the things, it's like, I felt like it was just the tip of the iceberg. There's like so much more that I look forward to exploring, especially with regards to my consciousness, and the great mystery. And it feels really good to know that I'm actually going to be here to do that, and to share whatever comes through with whoever gives a hoot to pay any attention to it, So there. I will be around. I will be alive. I've said in the past that I'm not afraid to die, and I really meant that. But I guess even more importantly is I'm not afraid to live either. And not only am I not afraid to live, I relish living. I love being alive. I feel so blessed that I'm not in a position right now where I want to reset, No, I want to use what I've got going right now as a springboard into fulfilling what my potential is in this incarnation. Thank you very much. Um, that said, where it's at, um, I still need to secure my own housing. I still need to secure some new transportation, and I don't yet quite have enough to do that. So if you want to help out, please donate, because this place where this radiation facility is way the heck over there, and on public transit it would take me, for a 15-minute treatment, it would take me like 2.5 hours to get there, and then 2.5 hours back. So I'd be spending the whole friggin' day, every day, 5 days a week, just to get this, and that just doesn't seem like the best use of my time and resources. So I've considered, actually contacted a friend that had an RV over in Tucson that they offered a couple of months ago, and I was like, well, it's kind of big, it's a gas guzzler, it's got a hole in the roof. But I contacted them this weekend, and I was like, you still have it? Because I figured I could at least park it near that facility, and then I wouldn't have to drive anywhere. I'd be close. And but they were able to find somebody to buy it from them, so that's not an option. Yeah. So I had to loan some of the money to the person that had loaned me that van. When I gave it back the van, the van had 2 broken cylinders and out of 6, and I had to loan him the money so that he could fix the van, to sell the van, to pay me back. So I figured it was the least I could do, given the fact that the brother loaned me that bus to me for 4 years as my home. And so that's left me with just enough to pay my bills for this month, and a new, what's to me a new beautiful computer that I'm finishing the book on, and yeah. So if anybody's got a magic wand, they want to wave that magic wand right now and try to help generate some more capital to resolve some of these issues, please wave the magic wand now. Ready? Begin! Anyway, my sister's coming down this weekend for Super Bowl Sunday, and I'm still staying at my friend Rita's house. But she graciously set up a writing room for me to work on the book, and yeah, I just hope that this 10 weeks isn't doesn't take too long, doesn't get too ugly. I have some friends that went through this last year, and they're no longer together, and it was pretty hellacious for them. But and like I said, I got really clear and clean over the past 4 months with all the cleansing that I did and that I've done. And when I was with the oncologist today, Dr. Hill, I said, I feel like I'm as lean as I've ever been, and even though, and all the work that I've done, all the cleansing that I've done, I cleaned my liver and kidneys and colon and bladder and gallbladder and all that kind of stuff. been doing, for the past couple of months, I've been doing, 10,000 milligrams of vitamin C every day, and all up until today, and I'm stopping all of it. I'm alkaline and everything, and so I've been alkaline for months now, and all that stuff. It didn't stop this cancer. So all the protocols that everybody was sending me, I tried them out. The fenbendazole, that I did fenbendazole for 2 months, and it didn't do jack. And the Mega Hydrate and Nascent iodine, that didn't work either. That was supposed to stop the cancer in 3 or 4 days or 9 days or something like that. They didn't do jack shit. And then no. But what all that stuff did, all the mushrooms, the lion's mane and the reishi and all that stuff. What it did is it got, I'm really healthy, right? So I said to the doctor, I think, for somebody who is 62 years old and weighs what I weigh and stature and all that kind of stuff, being as fit as I am, I think I'm probably in the best shape of somebody to have the best outcome for this protocol that we're about to do. And she said, I think you're right. If it doesn't work for you, I'm not sure that it could work for anybody, So, and once again, we had one of the main reasons why I made the decision to do this now is because we have this opportunity, a small window of opportunity to, as I was told from the beginning, was that because we quote unquote caught it between stage 2 and 3, we're talking about a 100% cure possibility. And if I had waited much longer, we would have lost that. And as she put it, we would be talking about management instead of cure. So, I realize that everybody's got to do what they got to do for themselves. I feel that I've done my best to be reasoned and responsible about the choices that I've made. And I've tried to record that and to share that with as many people as I can through this record, to help other people make their own decision when as in it's their turn. And unfortunately, 42% of men and 38% of women are going to have to make these choices in the coming years. So I will continue this record through the treatment, and hopefully I won't be bald at the end of it. But I will be alive at the end of it, and hopefully this thing in the back of my throat will be gone. Thank you very much. And I can get on with the yummier parts of my life. I recognize this shamanic journey that I'm on has only just begun. And I know that I am loved, and that nothing that I do or don't do will ever change that. So, as I said to the doctor, I was like, let's just, put the pedal to the metal on this thing, If we could start today, let's start today, I have no reservations and no delusions about what this is and what it costs and what it's going to take. So, that's what's up. And on that note, come to my favorite part of these, where I get to beam you some love. So, This is me beaming love at you. I love that. I just love that part. Alrighty then. Love ya.